Hello and welcome back to Scriptcase by Jamie. I thought today we would dive into this Lanman a little more. So let's do that, shall we? So hello and welcome back to the channel. I've just scrubbed myself out. I'm just kind of sneakily recording this video for you guys and gals on the Lanman that I had launched yesterday for you. Now you can download it with the link. I think I'll add it in this video as well. You can download the video, the project, sorry, and deploy it locally. So I'm going to go over the project a little more today and discuss it a little more. Now I have this platform. Right now it is running in Scriptcase, but I have also a Docker environment set up for this. Now I am debating whether I deploy it to the Docker environment or to the Apache Ubuntu system I have running. I haven't entirely decided yet. So those are some of the choices that you also have to deploy this. You could also deploy this within WAMP locally on your Windows machine. Now running those Python scripts, that may be another issue because I think most of them, they are configured for Windows and for Linux, so it should switch depending on the operating system you are using, but I'm not entirely sure whether I have done that for the scripts that I included, because I have actually gone over a few revisions of this while I've been actually creating it. Like I said, I wanted to have this ready before Christmas, and well, it didn't really happen because I started rewriting the scripts. I had them running in Docker at first, and then basically Nmap wasn't working properly, and sometimes I would be pinging every single IP address under the sun, even though it was not available, didn't exist, and it would be adding it to the database and all sorts of craziness going on. Now, fighting all of those, the easiest one is actually the cron job via Python with a Python script, and it runs beautifully. You just have to make sure that you have the MySQL connector and Nmap installed, and of course there will be a few extras there for the SNMP later. Now, in this video, I just really wanted to go over the platform a little more, so you have a little more, a better look at it. So you can see here, I can really zoom into devices really nicely. I really love how I put this interface together. So I kind of have my services here, my core assets, which are all the assets that I add for my local network, which I have here all as green. And there I can see then the statistics of those devices. Now you can see, obviously some of them are not so good, and there are various reasons for those, and that is maybe for another video. But otherwise, we have then also all my discovered devices, and these orange devices are only possible if I use the discovery scripts, so the Python scripts that are included. Now, if you add both of those, then you will have these orange dots as well. Otherwise, you can just use it locally for your own devices without using those scripts, and then just add the assets in here yourself, and then most of the features will be removed for the discovery from those interfaces. So you're kind of not looking at it and thinking, oh, I wish I had it all the time. So I have here basically the core assets, and I can access these quite easily. These services, I have the port numbers that they're running on, these service names and so forth, so that I can just very quickly access something locally, and anyone else as well that are basically here on the network. And then I can also see what devices are in the area and then basically link those. Now, a lot of these are actually devices that I need to add here, and they would be Wi-Fi devices that would be connected for home automation and other things like that. Now, I basically added everything on here, I think. I was debating whether maybe adjusting here the connections. Like you see, I built here this builder, which I thought was really nice. And I could just drag here the switch into the source and then say, well, that is connected to this desktop. and then that would establish a connection between those devices, or I could just clear the device or all of the devices or whatever I like, and it's a nice way of building that. But I was debating whether for a future version that I maybe here add here onto this map, so we just draw a line from one of these devices instead of having this drag like this, that I can actually just click this and then just draw a line over to the media server, for instance, and then that would then establish that connection. So maybe that's something I'll look at for a future version, because I think that would be quite nice just to be able to do that. Of course, we'll have to have a confirmation process there in the Go and stuff like that to make sure that we don't, add a device by mistake. So that's all things to think of maybe for a future version. Anyway, for now, it just, with the discovery script, it's going to tell me also whether these devices are up. So it's pinging these devices and then also updating this table and then let me know if they are online or not, which, is quite nice. Here for the activity, you have here the clean logs, as well as then the clean discoveries and also the ping all assets. And there you can pinging all the devices at once, and like right now, everything looks like it's on timeout. Now I should note here the ping is using JavaScript and everything, so the timeout, if you just have a little bit of latency there, then that could actually just stop actually working. And right now, I don't know if I'm logged into Scriptcase, but yeah, just a little bit of latency here, and that is not very, it's not perfect, let's say. It works. For instance, I was sat downstairs on the bottom floor. I'm connected there to this access point 2, which, like I said, it is connected, but the latency is so bad, it actually lists it as red. So that's something you can adjust within the options. I have it, so it shows it as red. It says offline now because the latency is just too high. It works. I can still watch videos from here, the media server over here, wherever that is, up here. So that is still working. And as you can see, that's actually having this path. Now, one of the reasons why I did this was really because I'm always been asked to draw a map of my network for various reasons. And sometimes I need to, if you're a network geek, if you have a home lab or a home network, then, you're always drawing silly maps. And really, I just got tired of it. Why not just build a little platform? And initially, I was looking for Docker environments and Docker containers and various platforms that other people built. And there was nothing really that it did this basically. It gave me a nice, beautiful map of my network. It allowed me then to manage my assets myself. So from here, I can manage all the assets. I have the connection builder there. I can add new assets, which I see I'm missing here, the button, but that is also here. So maybe I should add that in here as, just as an extra, because it's good to have it here too. So just coming here to the menu, who knows? You let me know in the comments. Should I add an add asset button here too, or is just the add asset? That's enough, really, isn't it? Anyway, so any suggestions you have regarding this platform? You think, well, maybe it'd be good to have this or that adjusted, or some extra things in the view, or whatever else. You have columns and sorting. I've pretty much gone through all of these. I've added some group bys in there as well, so you can group assets according to various options that you want. So I can say by physical location. Let's see what they all are. So you see I have already living room second floor, living room bottom floor, because it's a 3-story house. So it has the bottom floor. I call it living room. It's not really the living room. It's more like a basement, but we use it as a living room because it's a nice big open space, and it's quite comfortable. And we just stuck a projector there. It's kind of cinema feeling. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that's why it's good to have that there, and then you can basically just manage your devices or assets as you have them within your own network, as well as then the admin access for those. You can add here the ports, the username, the passwords, fill in the IP addresses, so it's HTTP or HTTPS, and then it builds up the links for you within the project. The services as well, as it's pretty, you have some extra information here for the ports, so you can go straight away to the URLs, either here via the service, the host name, sorry, or the port number and IP address. So that is then obviously depending on the connections. You have then also the build as I'd shown you already, which is kind of nice. I do like this. I think it's complete as well. I don't think it needs anything else in here. I don't know if it does. Just let me know in the comments. For the discovery and everything else, you can ping the device. You can convert the asset here. So I can open that up and then I can convert that. And like I said, I've tried to, complete everything. So everything looks, feels great. I know maybe the clearing of the logs is a bit more explosive, but I figured it's a good idea to have it like that. So you have pretty much the entire platform here. Like we can add new assets, passwords here. So if it's for an asset, I can say, well, it's for this device. And then I can add then the specifics, the path, the user login details, or so forth. If it's for a service, I can then choose the service that is linked to and enter the details for that and so forth. Now with the login label, I can customize then the purpose of the login. Maybe if it's for the admin portal, or if it's for the back end, or it's for a front end, or for whatever it is, you can then use the label for that. Now, if there's any extra fields you'd like to have in here, again, just let me know either in the comments or email me, whichever, I don't mind. And, if it gets too much, I'll just create a little forum for it. And I'll be adding extra features to this and, bits and pieces maybe if it needs. I don't know if it needs. There's, like I said, there's a couple of things I was thinking of adding to that. But that is really down to you. So anyway, let's have a look then at the Scriptcase project, because as I said, I have this as basically 2 Python files. And let me see if I can find, first of all, those files. Okay, so you will find in the zip file, first of all, the first file would be, of course, the deployment manual, little instructions, what the platform's about. There's no security with the platform at all. I removed it all, as well as then what's required then for deployments and so forth. So that is included within the zip file. We do then also have the enrichment scan. So like I said, this is a Python script. It is actually a text file within the zip file, so you do need to resave this as a .py file, so it then becomes a Python file. And you see here we are using the MySQL connector, subprocess, ARIA, and date time. Those are the functions, features that we are importing. We have our database configuration here, so that is something you will need to configure when you actually use these scripts. Okay, so do check out the scripts as well, and within both of them you'll see this little configuration here, and there you see my details, and of course those would be adjusted once I go to something else. But right now, for my development environment, which I'm always switching off and on, that is what it is. Anyway, so that is the enrichment scan, and like I said, we have then also the discovery scan, and here we are using smtplib also for the notifications. So this is the script that then also notifies you. So we're sending Telegram notifications, sending emails, running the discovery of devices here, and then also checking the options within the database to see whether those options are enabled, because if you remember, we can see here within the options that we can say here, enable enhance, that is available. Discovery is also there, and notice that also removes then the relevant fields from here, like the ping rate, the latency threshold, the enhance, repeat, the SNMP, and so forth. The cleanup you've got here as well. So everything removes, or depending on whatever you've got going on there. Now, all of that is built into those scripts. Now, you do need to then deploy those on the server. You can run them then with a cron job, and depending on the timings, I've got some information within the text file. You can either go with that, or like I say in the text, if you're a little paranoid, you can just, scan, run the discovery every minute, every 30 seconds or whatever you like, and just have it ping everything like crazy and find everything as fast as it can. That is all down to you. Of course, that will, of course, be using resources on your machine. Right, so within this project, we have 2 menus. We have the main menu, which I've just called Lanman here. I don't know really if that makes sense, because I have it opening as Lanman, but never mind. And then we also have the menu activity, which is then the cleanup menu. So I'll just run that one first. That is then this menu, and that loads then here. our system activity and so forth. So the what was it? I can't remember what it was. The activity, right? So that loads then here within the activity and then loads that there. So that is that menu there, and that is of course then our main menu. And then we have here various blank applications here within the root. So we have here the blank activity, and that is the blank activity overview. And then we also have the clean asset logs, and that then cleans the logs out and purges everything like the def view that we have here. The clean discoveries, the clean logs. We've got the blank map, which is then our map view. So if I run that, you'll see that this the original map that I was starting to work with and everything, and then I ended up having it like this. So I ended up going through a few incarnations of that even. So I've included or left the original one there, or I say original, it was probably version 10 by then already, and then this is probably already version 30 going through this view. Okay, so with that then we have the map there. Like I said, I've included the old version as well as then the new version. The blank ping assets as well. So this is what then pings all of the assets in one go using, was it HTML and JavaScript, I think it was. And so if I just open that up, so in here you have then all the code for that as well. And you see how that's working. Now, this is, like I said, because it's using JavaScript, it's not very... it's not perfect. If you have too much latency on the line, it will come up as a fail. But maybe that's a good thing, right? Because on your local line, it should be near perfect. Now, within the project, I've organized the assets here. Within the assets, the charts that are opened and viewed, there are more charts there. And maybe if you want to include them elsewhere, you can do that. You can add them onto other devices, assets, or whatever else. You have the connection builder here, as well as then the form and grid for the connections that are built between your assets, your logins, the services here, and then you have the quick control port editor there. Some tools here, which is then the browser ping, so that's for assets, as well as then for services. Now maybe the one we have here in root, and so all of these should also go in there too, but I was just trying to keep the assets separately. And we have then also the discovery, and here you have then also the browser ping is also in here for discovered devices. I added that actually this morning, as well as here the latency. Like I said, I keep looking at it. I was like, oh, okay, let's add something awesome here. We have then also the control, which is then for a control form for the assets. And that then allows us to convert that asset, that discovery into an asset, as well as then the discovery form and grid. So with that, we have then finally also here the logs for the network log. Now I should note that you do have a form here for the network log, but in general, it's not included here other than for the edit. And then even within the edit, there is nothing really for you to edit other than maybe the status of online, offline, if you know that. And you can also clean the asset from that log. Now, a lot of the button functions and everything, you have them all displayed within the applications. And of course, you can make any adjustments to the project as you feel fit. Just as a member, you just have to download it and work it. Now, as I said, within the members shared drive, you will find then also the deployment version, which is for the free version I've given off for to deploy anywhere you like, and then this one is then also available for you as the project backup. Okay, so that includes also, again, all of the files separately, so you don't need to download both files. You can just download that one file if all you want to do is, download the project, make your own adjustments as you please, and, do whatever you want with it. Like I said, it's all in there, and you have all of these graphs in here, so if I click around a little bit more, like you say, it will open up those IP addresses, even though it's not online, so maybe that's something we can adjust later, or it doesn't actually have an access, because this link is actually slightly different. It's coming up as about blank right now. So there might be one or two bugs there. I have tried to capture everything. Do let me know it was working for some devices earlier. Maybe it's because everything else is failing at the moment. See, there's the pi hole, so I was getting that. So yeah, but either way, it's down for you to check out. Let me know if what you're finding isn't working. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have figured it out by then, because I'm going to be using it as soon as I've deployed it locally myself. For now, I've just been building at it, making adjustments here and there, adding a few extra features, and then resolving any issues I found along the way. Now, I think as it is, it's a pretty awesome platform, especially if you're a network geek like me, and if you are wanting to know what is on your network, and every so often you need a network map like I do, or whatever that may be. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy this platform. Like I said, members, you'll be able to download this within the shared OneDrive. And if you need the link, let me know. If you want to use this platform yourself, you can download this. I will place the link for it down below again, so you can download it. There is another video on this if you want to check it out. I think I explained a little more in this video maybe, but I don't know. That's for you to decide. But yes, it's a pretty awesome platform, I think, and I hope you think it's awesome too. I think if you're a networking kind of geeky person, maybe you're going to love it, and you're going to come up with a lot of suggestions and ideas, and hopefully find all of the bugs for me before I find them. Because of course it's going to be the new year, and I think I'm going to be having a break over January actually. So there will not be any macro videos during January. I will be having a holiday for the entire month. No anything. Well, I will be working a bit, because that's the thing I need to focus on. A lot of other things. Trying to also get the macro videos done every week has been a bit of a struggle, and I need to sort things out. And plus it's my birthday as well. So for that reason, I figured I would just take the month off from the channel. If I have time for macro videos, I will post them. And if I don't, then I won't, I'm afraid. But I may create a couple extra videos on this platform, because I have been thinking actually about creating a little including this platform maybe within the training videos. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know below. Or if you'd like to have this as a separate little project video, I'd be happy to create it as a project video even, because it will take a little while, because like I said, it has taken me probably 5-6 days in total if I think of the breaks that I had in between, and the interruptions and the don't work moments. Okay, anyway, you let me know, and of course you can check it out and let me know down in the comments. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the platform, and do with it as you please. And until the next video.